The year is 1555. Having achieved a great victory over Kazan, Ivan the Terrible decides to immortalize his triumph. He envisions building a cathedral, the likes of which the world had never seen. And so began the history of one of the most recognizable and mystical structures on the planet. But what do we truly know about the Cathedral of the Intercession on the Moat, which the entire world knows by the name of the Holy Fool? Welcome to a journey through the centuries.
The Cathedral of the Intercession of the Most Holy Theotokos on the Moat, better known as St. Basil's Cathedral, is the primary symbol of Moscow and all of Russia, surrounded by numerous legends, mysteries, and myths. Here is the most complete account of them. According to the official version, the cathedral was built by order of Tsar Ivan the Terrible to commemorate the capture of the Kazan Khanate and the victory over Kazan. Construction took place from 1555 to 1561. Authorship is traditionally ascribed to Russian architects Postnik, Yakovlev, and Barma. Their names have been preserved in chronicles. There is a theory that Postnik and Barma were in fact one person, Ivan Yakovlevich Barma, nicknamed Postnik. The most famous and gruesome legend, which is a myth, states that upon seeing the completed cathedral of unprecedented beauty, Tsar Ivan the Terrible asked the architects, "Can you build another, even more beautiful?" They replied, "We can, Your Majesty." Whereupon the Tsar ordered them to be blinded so they could never build a more beautiful church anywhere. This is considered a myth because historical documents show that the architect, Postnik, was later involved in the construction of the Kazan Kremlin after his work in Moscow. A blind architect could not have overseen such a complex project. Nevertheless, this legend is very persistent and forms part of the popular image of Ivan the Terrible as a fearsome and cruel ruler. Legends and mysteries of the cathedral. The cathedral was not always called St. Basil's. It was originally known as the Intercession on the Moat, but it received its popular name thanks to the legend of Moscow's most famous holy fool, Vasily Blazheny, Basil the Blessed. Vasily was a contemporary of Ivan the Terrible. He walked around Moscow nearly naked, preached mercy, and exposed falsehood. He was revered even by the Tsar himself. According to his life, Vasily possessed the gift of foresight. One legend claims he extinguished a fire in Novgorod through prayer. When Vasily died in 1557, before the cathedral was even finished, the Tsar ordered him to be buried by the walls of the building church. His grave immediately became a place of veneration and was renowned for miracles. Several decades later, in 1588, a separate chapel was added to the cathedral and consecrated over the relics of St. Vasily. This chapel became so popular with the people that the entire cathedral began to be called by his name. There are several theories about the symbolic meaning of the cathedral's unique architecture and bright domes. The cathedral is seen as an architectural image of the city of God, the heavenly Jerusalem, as described in the book of Revelation. Initially, the cathedral consisted of 8 churches or side chapels, each consecrated in honor of saints on whose feast days important events of the Kazan campaign occurred. The central tent is dedicated to the feast of the intercession of the Theotokos. Thus, the cathedral is a memorial in stone to the entire military campaign. Some believe Ivan the Terrible wanted to recreate the legendary Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem in Moscow to emphasize the city's status as the Third Rome. One of the most poetic versions is that the multicolored domes symbolize the flames of a bonfire reaching towards the sky. One of the most intriguing secrets involves the underground passages and the library of Ivan the Terrible. Beneath the cathedral lies a massive substructure, a basement with thick walls and vaults. Originally, there were no entrances to it. One could only get there through hatches from inside the churches. The Tsar's treasury and the city's wealthy coffers were stored here. Rumors circulated about hidden chambers and underground passages leading, for instance, to the Kremlin. The most famous mystery links the cathedral to the lost library of Ivan the Terrible, the Librea. According to legend, Ivan IV inherited an invaluable collection of ancient Greek and Byzantine books from his grandmother Sophia Paleolog, including works by Aristotle and Plato, which he hid somewhere in the secret vaults of Moscow. Many researchers have searched for it in the dungeons of the Kremlin and St. Basil's Cathedral, but so far without success. There is no evidence of its presence there, which only fuels the legend. In 1812, when Napoleon Bonaparte occupied Moscow, he was so enchanted by the beauty of the cathedral that he ordered it to be moved to Paris. When it was explained to him that this was technically impossible, he became angry and ordered the cathedral to be blown up so it would not fall back into Russian hands. Legend has it that when the French had already placed barrels of gunpowder and lit the fuses, a sudden, very heavy downpour began. It extinguished the fire and saved the cathedral from destruction. There is a grain of truth in this story. The cathedral was indeed mined and suffered from looting, but the French army did not have time to detonate it amidst the panic and retreat. The cathedral's modern, motley and bright appearance is the result of repainting carried out in the 17th and 19th centuries. Originally, the cathedral looked different. There are versions that it was red and white to resemble brick and white stone, or even simply white with gilded domes. It acquired its famous gingerbread look later, which however in no way diminishes its genius. St. Basil's Cathedral is not merely a church, it is a military monument to a great victory, an architectural masterpiece without equal in the world. A profound spiritual symbol personifying the heavenly city. A national shrine associated with the name of Moscow's most venerated saint, and the chief keeper of legends about power, cruelty, faith and miracles, which together constitute the mysterious soul of Russian history.
My temple stands, and its secrets run deeper than the moats of the Kremlin. In this book lies my soul, my blood, my love, and fear, and revelation. The writer Anna Gogoleva has spilled onto the page not ink, but lives. My life, your life. The 10th altar is not made of stone. It is made of spirit, of you. Go forth to Amazon.com. Take this book, buy it, read it, know it. Do not disobey.